You know what? Why don't I just talk about this with you guys? Normally my videos, I'm trying to provide you guys the advice and telling you guys what to do and talk about all this other fancy stuff. I'm kind of at a crossroads right now. It's one of the biggest hurdles, interesting moments of decision making that I've had to make in Star Wars Galaxy. So instead of just me talking to myself about it, I think I know what I'm gonna do. But I figured I'm gonna talk to you guys because maybe some of you guys are in a similar situation. We're talking free-to-play account stuff today. We're at 3.7 million GP. This account we started in 2021, so it's almost at like its 2.5-year mark, give or take. So we're coming across 4 million, which is a huge milestone because we can finally play Proving Grounds and hopefully maybe do hard mode Conquest, but I can't put that much effort into Conquest. The issue I'm having right now is I'm at a crossroads. As a lot of you guys know, I keep getting this question all the time, despite me answering it. Where is the free-to-play account for 2023, Arnold? I get that question at least 30 bajillion times a day. We've answered it. I put it all on hold because it's Rise to the Empire and then the announcement of the raid. It was throwing pretty much my original plans for 2023 off. And I would hate to recommend something for 2023 if it was going to be outdated very shortly. I believe any guide made before the Crate Dragon raids in this year is kind of irrelevant. And now I'm at that point. All right, what am I going to do to help people guide themselves for those that want to come to the game or who are at a similar crossroads? Sort of like me, I was pretty much ready to go all in on Kenobi. I figured by the time I get Kenobi, I'll be 4 million GP. I'll get the Proving Grounds. I'll get Commander Tano, and I'll have a 7-star Wat Tambor by then. And it takes a while to get Wat Tambor. It's not one of those Galactic Legends you just get at the user first, because Wat Tambor, it's taken me longer to get him than my previous Galactic Legends. As a little summary, Supreme Leader Karen obviously being our first big Galactic Legend with a variety of stuff leading up to it, of course, like Finalizer and a couple other things. Sith Eternal, and of course the variety of stuff leading up to it that requires certain legendaries like Thrawn and Emperor Palpatine and whatnot. And we built our way to eventually wanting to get Starkiller to supplement those Sith Eternal, Kylo Ren requirements that we got. And then, of course, the biggest thing that's happened so far this year for me is the recent acquisition of the Executor, which completely fundamentally changed my ship game. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I will focus on this new free-to-play guide, getting Executor, and also just taking the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. But the raids and Rise of the Empire completely flipped everything on its head and how I think going forward in Galaxy of Heroes should look like. Finally unlocked ourselves Darth Revan, and we unlocked Jedi Revan way back when. And with Darth Revan and Jedi Revan, you know, it doesn't take a lot at that point to get Darth Malik. So as it stands, while we wait for this Crate Dragon raid to really settle, because we don't know if the rewards are final, we're still kind of being screwed in some regards, we've talked about. However, the second I get Darth Malik unlocked, we're gonna run into a complication, because how do you get this guy to 7 stars? You need the guild event token currency. That's one of the areas where it seems like we're kind of being scammed out of, but mainly because of the fact that they're taking the guild event tokens out of the raid rewards, and that's kind of an issue. Make the decision: are you going to get Malik to 7 stars, or are you going to do something else? And that's the something else I want to talk about. So I was thinking about, let's go for Kenobi afterwards, since we're almost at a 7-star Wat Tambor and 4 million GP. However, with the Crate Dragon raid, we put a guide out there that in case you missed it, if you want to know the best teams and the strategies, we have it out there. There's really no other way about it. The biggest function of the raid and how well you're going to do is how many Jabbas does your guild have? And we talked about this in a variation of a video last week with AP Games. We kind of talked about Jabba versus Leviathan versus that oddball Reva that's kind of out there in the corner that's also really darn good. And the long story short, in case you missed that video, I kind of said I think for most people Jabba makes sense, especially if you're not 4 million GP and you want to kind of keep up with where the game is heading right now, of Rise of the Empire and the Crate Dragon raid, being able to get relic gates for your guild and whatnot. AP Games is kind of more in the camp of Leviathan, because ships do have a very good impact on the fleet arena, assuming fleet arena is not going to go anywhere with crystals. And of course Scandroid, but that only goes so far because you only get a 50-50 win rate at the end of the day. At some point you're going to kind of equal out at some point, so it's not like a Leviathan's going to take you to number 1 in Kyber 1 or anything like that. Do I go for Jedi Master Kenobi? Great Galactic Legend. Once you get Commander Tano, which does take a bit of time with Proving Ground, you're going to be in a whole different echelon when it comes to taking on the game. However, I really think right now, with the account, after we get Malik, I think I need to kind of start my journey and shoot for Jabba the Hutt. It's going to probably take throughout the rest of the year to get there. And I kind of want to explain why I think this is going to be best for me, for a lot of people in a similar situation, and why when we finally let the crate settle, how we're going to probably make this kind of that galactic legend that people should set their eyes for down the road. Kind of like Supreme Common was the best all-around GL that handled the game at that present time before the Crate Dragon raid. I think shooting for Jabba and trying to get Executor is probably going to be the thing of the future once we know how everything settles out. And let's talk about it. So, requirement-wise, where I'm sitting at right now, if we take a look at Jabba the Hutt, you truly can't get Jabba until you get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So this is truly the first element of the conversation here. When we look at the requirements, the good thing is because of my farming guide, you know, you already kind of pick up Commander Luke, Chewbacca, you get that Relic 7 Darth Vader, so you already make some decent progress, and over time you get the Rebel Officer Leia Organa through the territorials. My guild primarily does Hoth TV still. We're not really doing the Rise. We never touch Rise of the Empire. We don't really do GOTV too often. It seems like we do a lot of light side. Like, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing light side Hoth territory battles for the moment. So we're going to get Rebel Officer Leia Organa. But the biggest issue that I have here is the guild event token currency grind. And this kind of feels a little dumb because I feel like I'm going to get Malik. It feels a little dumb leaving Malik at 5 stars. Now, if I was someone that was in that realm of getting Leviathan, I was past 4 million, I was already close to unlocking Malgus or had Malgus unlocked, I'd probably have a different tune and be like, you know, I'd probably go for Leviathan right now. That seems to make most sense. I don't think it makes sense to me. I think I'm going to probably put Malik on the side. I can probably use Malik at 5 stars for plenty of offensive. Dark Revan's not that great on defense. So I'm thinking we're going to probably work on this and the things that entice me. C-3PO is probably the thing that I'm not the most excited for. But the good news is you're going to build up a Commander Luke Skywalker team. I have a 7-star Han Solo, having a Commander Luke Skywalker team, and we have Old Ben because we wanted to build some good stuff for Starkiller. That's a good team to get out of this. The real issue here, besides C-3PO not being the most exciting thing to get, is this guild event token currency grind. It's a lot. I've been primarily, one of the secrets, it's not really a secret, to get a lot of gear to supplement all of your big projects like the Galactic Legends. I've been using pretty much up until now guild event token currency solely for gear. It helps me get through the Gear 12 grind extremely quickly. Gear 12 usually is not a big pain point for me because I've just been using my currencies to get the Gear 12 materials, and I have been neglecting Wampa and Hermit Yoda. Well, a couple days ago, I'm like, you know what? I think this is the direction I'm heading, and I started farming Wampa. It's going to be a long grind, especially with the rewards being questionable with the guild event token currency. That's why I've really been advocating for them to try to get the guild event token currency back on at least the personal track. Point aside, but this is a lot of currency that we're going to need to get Wampa and Hermit Yoda, and it's a big function of time. But the good thing is, Wampa, when we do get Wampa, Wampa's great in Grand Arena. I already have Savage. Wampa's the Savage 1.0 technically, and Savage the Wampa 2.0. Technically, having another great offensive Grand Arena tool is going to be fantastic. Hermit Yoda is going to pair well with my Jedi Knight Revan, and then, of course, ultimately when you get over to Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So I think that's going to be something to look forward to moving down the road. So that's really the C-3PO and the guild event token currency grind is the biggest issue for me. But then we get into Jabba the Hutt. And Jabba the Hutt is kind of a great, it's Supreme Leader Kylo Ren-esque. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren was great for the GOTVs, was amazing in all of the raids before the Crate Dragon raid came out, and the Crate Dragon raid completely kicked out everyone else except Jabba the Hutt when it came to the Galactic Legend realm. And Jabba, this is actually kind of a highlight over Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. There's really no off-meta ways to beat this guy without Datacrons. And, you know, maybe you can get Dr. Radford to beat him. It's kind of your best non-GL thing, non-Datacron thing that you have in game. Otherwise, very difficult. Starkiller can maybe kind of do it, but Bauschlayer really shuts down the Starkiller thing because he can't assist or attack out of turn with Palpatine, I should say. So I'm really thinking that Jabba I think that's where we're heading. And the requirements, I think, are kind of appealing. Jedi Knight Luke, decent, not the greatest legend of all time, but decent. And as we kind of said, it's going to be great with some of our Jedi stuff. You already got to build up C-3PO to get Jedi Knight Luke, so you just got to up the relics a little bit more. And of course, the Hutt Cartel team is kind of a little bleh before you get access to Jabba the Hutt. And then Han Solo is going to be great to build up that Commander Luke Skywalker team. And for me personally, I love my bounties. We got some pretty decent bounties. We have Beskar Mando for the Executor. I'm really looking forward to a reason to get Fennec Shan as well as Aura Singh up and running. Aura Singh can make a great bounty hunter lead for a lot of stuff. I've been right now using Boss Lead. I've been really wanting to have Aura Singh to really do a little bit more Fennec Shan's going to be another great off-meta counter to those Lord Vaders, so I don't have to do like a multi-shot or use Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So Jabba's got a lot of incentivizing pieces, and oddly enough, I was expecting like Relic 9 for this guy when he came out. Once you have Jedi Knight Luke, it doesn't seem too unbearable, and the good thing is I feel like by the time I get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, the rest of the requirements should be double dropped. Right now we're waiting for Bausch Leia, we're waiting for we're waiting for Chrysanthemum and Skip Garlando. I just feel like things are timing out well to go for this. By the time we get Jedi Knight Luke, we get C-3PO, we get the Wampa, the Hermione, and ultimately Jedi Knight Luke, I feel like by then, come August, September, I think that's when those guys came out, they'll be double drop farmable. And that's going to be a nice thing. And an extra added bonus to this, I truly feel like we're going 2 for 1 stone here. I think since you're getting Jedi Knight Luke, which leads to Jabba, it's going to be helpful to get a second Galactic Legend shortly after, sort of like how Sith Eternal, Spirit of Karma, they have a little bit of interlocking requirements that kind of baked in there, which makes it easy to move on to the next project. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker shares a lot of the things you need. C-3PO, and it's got some good characters that build up that Commander Luke Skywalker team. You create a new Mon Mothma team, which will build into my Star Killer, which I have Kyle Katarn, who's just right now kind of just chilling with my Jedi Knight Revan. Oddly enough, pretty decent with Jedi Knight Revan. Funny enough. And then, of course, we already have Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker for running. Already above and beyond what Jedi Knight Luke, or Jedi Master Luke requires. You're going to have Han Solo above and beyond what Jedi Master Luke needs. And you have Chewbacca, which you already get. Rebel Y-Wings, kind of thing you got to go out and about. Hermit Yoda, you already build that up. And I just feel like this, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just ranting. And that's why I kind of wanted to talk to you guys. It's kind of weird. I'm coming to you guys to say, all right, here's what I think. What you should do based on the situation. But I truly feel, and I think I've already kind of solidified my thought, that I think Jabba the Hutt is going to be the way to go. You're going to build up a lot of great stuff along the way, getting to Jabba, and it already dips you into the Jedi Master Luke pool. And then, so it's kind of like a 2GL type of special going on. And with Rise of the Empire, going to be here for who knows how long. It seems like it's going to be the territory battle of the future. Of course, they're going to add new planets, but Jabba's still pivotal in so many different missions requiring Hutt Cartel, Jabba, and then Crate Dragon Raid is already requiring Jabba. He's the best performing team inside the Crate Dragon Raid. And people say, well, by the time we get Jabba, the Crate Dragon Raid will be expired. We don't really know how this whole raid system is going to work. We truly don't know. They said they're going to make more raids. Will that replace the Crate Dragon? Will the Crate Dragon be played alongside it? Will we be able to even play this new raid? There's more questions than answers. I like to work in the present, especially when it comes to making guides. But I'm pretty certain that Jabba is where I'm going. But I think by the time we get our Malik up and running, we'll definitely have that answered. But just right now, when I look at my account, what I have built, and a lot of you guys are following a similar trajectory. If you're kind of in this rut where I am, or you just wondered what that next project should be, I think, although Jedi Master Cube was my plans beforehand, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. There's not as many interlocking things I would like to have. I feel like I need Commander Tano. That's going to take a bit of time through proving grounds to get. It's a weird spot to be in, but it's kind of fun. That's the thing about this game. Resource management, laying out your plan. But I feel like I'm 80% sold that Jedi Knight Luke, Jabba, Jedi Master Luke is going to be the way to go. And assuming that the Crate Dragon Raid's only going to get better rewards or stay the same, I suppose, I think the next guide is probably going to have Jabba be somewhat of a focus in terms of one of the earlier things you can get. Again, I think if you can get Jabba an Executor as early as possible, too, I think that's going to be maybe the new wave of the free-to-play domination inside of Galaxy of Heroes. I have no idea if this video was helpful. I thought it was maybe going to be fun just to sit here. I literally been sitting here today alone while I'm doing my stuff. Been sitting here for like an hour or two, literally just staring, scrolling through. I'm like, why am I doing this on my own? Let's talk about it together. Have a dialogue. What's your next project you're looking at? I love reading you guys' comments. Thank you so much for hanging out, listening to me basically ramble here. Leave that like, comment down below. Be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.